Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're reviewing The Age of Steel, the second part in the Cybermen two-parter from Series 2 of Doctor Who, with the 10th Doctor, and Rose, and Mickey! And I like this one. I enjoyed part 1. I reviewed it recently. This was a Patreon request from one of my top-tier patrons, and it's been a while since I've watched it, so it was nice to go back and see it. It is directed by Graham Harper. I really like Graham Harper. He's one of Doctor Who's best directors, in my opinion. And he's the only person to have directed Classic Who and Modern Who at this point. So he has that distinction, which is pretty cool. I like the incidental music in this story a lot. I do have to give a shout out to that. It is really, really well done. I love the camera angle. The camera work on this is really good with angles. Every now and then it looks like it was shot in standard definition, which it was. It's so odd to think that even in the mid-2000s they were shooting in standard definition, and that, you know, looking at Blu-rays and stuff, it's an upscale. That's so weird that most of Russell's era is upscale to Blu-ray. It's just odd to think that even then they were mostly using standard definition. The Cybermen I like in this. The Cybermen in this are different than classic Cybermen, but I love the fact that the story addresses that with them being an alternate universe version of the Cybermen that start on Earth instead of on Mondas. I like that. I like it explains the differences It explains the differences well while still having similarities. The voices of the Cybermen don't bother me that much. They're fine. I like how they have a little more robotic nature. Instead of being a body that's slowly been done away with or replaced slowly like our Cybermen here are, it's more of just a brain in a thing of armor. That's pretty neat, with some flesh, like a nervous system put in. That's a fascinating way to look at it. I don't really like the stomping sound they make, but I do like the fact that the shoes have treads as kind of a callback to the classic sneakers, tennis shoes they wore. I don't like the delete. It doesn't bother me as much here, but later, as they've reappeared in the show, it really bugs me a lot. Tennant is good in this. All of the main cast is good in this. Noel's good in this. Billy's good in this. Yeah, everybody's fine. I get Rose's. Series 2 Rose is a lot more irksome than Series 1 Rose. But I get, if you're in a parallel universe and you get to see your dad who died, when you were only a few months old and you have no memory of him, and he's standing, another version of him is standing right there in front of you. I get it. I get wanting to meet him. I get wanting him to know who you are and all of that. So I understand her motivations and the reasons why she's doing what she's doing. And, Billie Piper gets that across well. She's a good actress. Tennant's on fire in this. I like his speech. It's like I do and I don't like his speech. I like when he's talking to Loomis at the end. And it's a good speech, but it drags on for a while, which is the point. He's trying to buy time. It's like he just assumes Mickey's watching, which credit Mickey is, so he's giving Mickey credit there. That whole bit at the end with getting the code to the phone and putting it in the thing is so Deus Machina. Like, the fact that Mickey's hacking, I don't think that's how hacking works. It's like, I feel like I'm watching Hackers, and I'm going, that's not how any of this works. Like the movie Hackers. So Mickey, of course, I can hack anything because plot convenience. And then and the fact that he can just immediately transfer it to the phone, which is from another universe, even though it picks up with the cyber stuff. And the fact that the Rose's phone that he sends it to, there happens to be a port for him to put the phone in. It's like Loomis is like, okay, we're going to make a code to cancel the emotion chip. Why would you even have a code for that? That's like having an exhaust port for a Death Star. Why would you do that? Unless that's something Gemini or somebody else built into it without his knowledge to have a code for the emotion chip thing. And then suddenly Loomis is like, you know what? We need to build a port right there. What kind of phone is it for? One from another universe. Yes. I think there might be another universe that has a phone like this. We're good. It's so plot convenience, plot convenience, plot convenience. The Tenant can just, and then it solves everything. Drives, all of the Cybermen, because everything's interconnected on a network, start getting their emotions back and going crazy, although somehow Loomis doesn't. And then of course this causes the factory to blow up too, because so the factory starts overloading, I guess because everything's interconnected. It is. There's a little willingness, suspension of disbelief here. I'll admit it's a little silly, but it's fine. I'm enjoying the story. It's been good up to there. It's fine. I like Loomis's design, his Cyberman design. I like when the cyber leader or cyber controller has a slightly different design from the rest of the Cybermen. Like, I like the fact it has that clear piece right here where you can see his brain, and I like the glowing blue eyes. There's some really good shots of him when he's in the chair, the way they do the cinematography there, and you can see like fog or something, his eyes lighting it up. It looks really, really good. I like that. Interesting that version of Jackie got turned into a Cyberman, and how it loops back to that in the finale with their Pete ending up with our universe's Jackie. So seeing her die there, it's interesting because when you think about it, a lot of people die in this story, because I look at the people who, when Jackie's still human but she's being controlled by the other things, when she's marching in the line to go be upgraded, think about it, all the people around her also got upgraded. Like the lady that is walking in front of her, I'm like, she got upgraded. You see another lady at one point walking smooth up in there, and then the thing's cutting down. Man, all of these people got upgraded. And then, all the people at the party who got killed, even the doctor's like, anyone who's still in there is dead. So you saw all the people that were in the party, before everything went to crap at the end of part 1, probably all dead. So a lot of people die in this, but that's old school Doctor Who. The first series 1 and series 2 of Doctor Who, and even some later, people die, because that's how classic Doctor Who was. People die. He can't save everybody. People die. It's what makes that scene in The Doctor Dances so impactful. And when Eccleston is able to save everybody, his "everybody lives" speech, that's why the Ninth Doctor is so overjoyed, which is so rare, especially for that Doctor, to see him that happy, is because he can save everyone, because that doesn't happen in Doctor Who much. For classic Who, and especially early modern Who. So, and this is another example of that, where people just die. A lot of people got killed by the Cybermen. A lot of people got upgraded by the Cybermen and basically killed. It's so weird that the one girl got killed that was helping the Doctor. The one whose real name was like Alison Pride or Alice Pride or whatever. The short blonde-haired one. I don't understand how the Cyberman snuck up on her. It has the same plot problem that Jurassic Park has with the T-Rex, because the T-Rex is so big, stomp, boom. But they make a point in that scene when it first shows up, when you see the cups of water, boom, 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 boom. The T-Rex makes a lot of sound. It stomps. So I've always wondered at the end of the movie, when it shows up to save them from the raptors, one, how did it get into the building? 2, how come they didn't hear it get into the building? It just suddenly teleported in. It's the same thing with the Cybermen. These Cybermen stomp, 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 stomp. They make that stomping sound, which is irksome. So how did this Cyberman sneak up on them while they're working, and how did Tennant not notice? Did the Cyberman tippy-toe? Was he sitting there? I don't think the Cybermen do that. So I don't understand how the Cyberman managed to walk up right behind them to kill her without them hearing it. To me, that's a huge plot hole that I noticed. It'd be different if it was like the classic Cybermen and they didn't make that much noise. But it's very stomp, stomp, stomp with these modern Cybermen at this point in the show. So, yeah, that's always bugged me. How did it sneak up to kill her? It's like they killed her for no reason, and I liked her character. So I do like this story a lot. It's a good reintroduction from the Cybermen. It's one of the best stories the Cybermen have had in the modern series, because the Cybermen get really screwed in the modern series. Half the time they're being made the master's bitch, which is irksome. Or they're being used as a, just a knockoff army for somebody. Or they're, in flux. They're just there to get killed. you know, the Daleks, the Soltarans, and the Cybermen just to get wiped out, just because, hey, look, Cybermen. It's very seldom they're done justice in modern Who. World Enough in Time does them really well, especially, well, pretty well. It's a good story that does them fairly well. And then they're done pretty well here, actually. I really like here, because all of the differences between them and the classic ones can be explained by them being from another universe. It's just a lot of the other episodes, they're not done so well. I mean, who absolutely loves Nightmare and Silver? I'd rather watch Silver Nemesis any day. So that's my thoughts on Age of Steel. I would like to know what you think of this two-parter, so comment down below and let me know. Other things to do, click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon. If you like what I do and would like to support what I do, there is a link to that down in the description below as well. This was a patron request itself. So was part 1, which I've reviewed recently. I also have a link to my Amazon wish list. If there's anything you would like to send me off that, I update it regularly, as well as my P.O. boxes down there if there's anything you would like to send me. I want to give a shout out to 2 of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane and the 5th Doctor. I appreciate their continued support. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching.